All right, what's up, my brothers from another mother? It's been a few weeks now, and since I record so many of my videos in my car, it's basically like a second studio. It's almost like, I don't know, like a sidekick to my videos now. So I want to introduce you to the car that I replaced the M5 with. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it. So let's go outside, and I'll give you a quick look at from the outside and tell you why. So it's a 2018 Audi X5. And there's a number of reasons why I needed to get rid of the Bmw M5, which I'll explain in the car. But as you can see, I've got a lot more room back here. The M5 was a massive car. It's about 2 inches wider, 11 inches longer, and the height didn't really matter because they both clear the tire rack on the wall anyway. But really nice car. I want to show you the interior because it greets you with a wonderful cabin. If you can see that. There you go. It's a fully digital display. It's got these nice quilted leather seats. So what I'll do is, you know, that's pretty much what it looks like. And, you know, this display setup is pretty customizable. It's very cool. What I'll do is I'll just put the GoPro on the windshield and I'll explain why I replaced it now. All right, guys, we are rolling. I'm just heading into the office this morning and wanted to do a little update on this, I guess, new in-car studio that I always seem to be using on my channel. So, sold the M5. I already showed you guys the outside of the car, and one of the main reasons was the size of the space I got in my garage and what it would take up. The M5 was a 2-year plan. I saw it for sale when I was looking for an M4 after I sold my convertible, and excuse me. What I saw was an ad for a certified pre-owned 700 horsepower dyno tuned M5, and I was like, that's not what I'm looking for, but that looks badass. I gotta go check it out. Drove it, and I had to have it. I knew I was only gonna keep it for a couple of years because when the warranty was out, I wanted to get rid of it. It was just something I wanted to own. I've never owned anything that powerful, and you guys know I'm a car guy. I, you know, sometimes post some car stuff, especially from some trips that I do, especially with the off-road racing. And it was a blast. It was a hoot. The problem I found with the M5 was a few things. One, it had way too much power for lower gears. So first, second gear, if I were to nail it, the traction control would always interfere. So basically anything slower than 80 kilometers an hour, which gets close to the speed limit here in Ontario, which is 100, the traction control is going to interfere, and it's going to take away a lot of the fun. In all honesty, in first and second gear, this car is probably faster because it's got quattro and it lays down all the power. So that was the one problem with the M5. The second thing was the size of the car in the garage. It was only a 2-year plan, and it wasn't as reliable as my last M cars, if I'm being honest. Now, it was covered under warranty, so it didn't cost me anything, actually, but it seemed to have to go in for things tied into either steering or suspension. I don't know, more often than what I had expected. I had no issues whatsoever with my E93 M3, nothing whatsoever. It was just oil changes and fuel and tires, and that was it. So let me move into this car. Excuse me, my throat's a little froggy this morning. It's still early. As you can see, it's a lovely interior. My plan was to get a 2-door car simply because I'm a big guy. You can see my head's almost like right up at the roofline here, and I want easy ingress and you know, like access to the inside of the car if I'm getting that right. And 2 doors swing wider. They're usually longer doors and they're easier to get in and out of. I found with the M5, because it was a 4-door car, I often had to pull myself out, like kind of like almost falling out of the car, which is kind of awkward. I mean, you don't want to do that when you're getting out of a boss-looking car like that. I did look at some M6s as an alternative, but I wasn't going to spend, there was one for sale for 95 grand that had very low kilometers, certified pre-owned. It was a very rare color with carbon ceramic brakes, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I wanted for a daily driver. I've already got the R8. I wanted something I could pile the miles into, not worry about it. So that brought me to this. What did I get? I got a demoed 2018 S5. It's an Audi. One of the cool things, I guess, about getting a similar product, it's like everything is kind of where you expect it. You know, it's more intuitive with the R8. One of the things I found with the M5 and the R8 is, you know, you go for the cruise control and it's not where it is in the other cars. So you just got to remember where it's at. So this one's a little more intuitive and consistent with, you know, the other car that I've got in the garage. 2018, it was a demo, 8,000 kilometers. I got it certified pre-owned, and Guys, if you're looking for a German car right now, I'd encourage you to go check out what Audi's offering. I don't know if it's the same throughout the rest of North America. I know most of you guys are watching me in the States right now, but they had amazing deals versus BMW. I couldn't find shit in the BMW lineup that I liked or even came close to this. This car would compete with a 340, I believe is what the BMW lineup is, M Performance, which is nice, and they had a couple for sale, but it looks completely dated on the inside compared to what Audi's doing with this for the same money. The dash layout is not a large, nice computer screen that's customizable and can turn into navigation, all that sort of stuff. All this stuff, like all the HVAC layout is much nicer in here. I think the quilting in the seats looks phenomenal. The seats are comfortable. They have a massage button on them, so what it does, it basically takes a lumbar and it just basically runs it up and down your back. In fact, let's turn that on right now. I know you guys won't enjoy it, but I will. And very, very comfortable and easy to drive. It's got all these automated systems, so when you're in a traffic jam, you kind of hit a couple of buttons and you just let it do its thing. So you don't have to mess around with the gas and brake. It knows where the traffic is, and it works pretty good. Just every once in a while, you have to kind of touch the wheel so that the car knows that there's a human being in here. You can blame the lawyers for that. What else? Power-wise, V6 turboed. They took away the supercharger in this generation, which apparently is more efficient. They gave us an 8-speed automatic, which is lovely. Very smooth, shifts fast. It's very fuel efficient. I'm getting about 7 liters per 100 kilometers on a highway drive, about 10 combined right now. I'm on a country road doing about 70, 75, just with some traffic. I'm going into work, so it's a little bit busier this morning. But yeah, it's really comfortable. It's got Quattro, so it puts down the power. I don't have to worry about getting stuck in parking lots when I'm skiing in the wintertime, which I had a couple times with the M5, if I'm being honest. There's a few moments driving that car because it has such wide tires. It tends to ski on top of the snow on the road rather than cut down into it, more like a skate. And you always want to go more narrower. So the M5 had 305s in the back, and then I put snows on with 265s. And even with the 265s, it still sat on top of the snow. It didn't have great traction. And I always put snow tires in my cars before you guys beat me up on, oh, you should put snow tires. So yeah, this should be great in the winter, bad weather, all around. It's got a 6-year certified pre-owned warranty. Maintenance is covered in it. I even had them throw in a bike rack for my mountain bike, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while since I got the M5, and I'd always have to throw it in the trunk. It would make a mess. So I'll be putting that on the roof and doing some more mountain biking. Yeah, it's a great car, great interface, nice carbon fiber trim and everything, and I've got the Android Auto in this, so when I listen to audiobooks when I'm driving, which is really what I do mostly in the car, instead of listening to music, and the sound system's phenomenal. I don't know what it's got, like 800 watts or something, more than a dozen speakers for sure. The sound system's incredible, so it's very nice. You know, everything's in the right place. It feels good. It's a comfortable ride. It suits my personality. That's what I wanted, and that's why I switched it up and picked this. So yes, I switched from BMW to Audi. Some of you fanboys on Instagram were yelling at me, blasphemy, you sold the M5, blah, 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 blah. It's my life. I buy what I want. Stuff it. So that's it. If you guys got any questions, you can throw them in the comments. But yeah, so that's kind of an intro to my new in-car studio. Now that that's gotten out of the way, I can resume making cars. Not making cars, making videos in my car as I'm driving, and give you guys that. One thing I hope has changed with this video, because some people were complaining about the deep baritone sound of the M5 exhaust as I was driving. Hopefully it's not getting picked up on this mic. This one has a nice sporty exhaust. Let's give you a little hint of that right now. Sounds good, right? It's not as baritone as the M5, but yeah, quick car. So happy with it. Leave your comments below. Thanks for checking out today's video. We'll see you guys in the next one with some more red-pilled lens tips. Peace out.